Hey, happy day. Schools, colleges, university educators, typically they are socialists, they are left-wing people, and they teach accordingly. I've been involved in this over the years. I've gone to schools, I've spoken to board members and so on, and I've said, guys, it doesn't matter if a student, when he grows up, if he becomes a communist or not, it doesn't matter to me as long as he has the information to make the decisions from, right? And he doesn't have that. You guys only talk about what you think is proper, and it ain't right. All you talk about is liberalism and socialism and communism, and you brag about it, and the students leave there and they're damaged, okay? You have to do it both ways. So one university in particular, I'm supposed to not name them, I don't know why, I should, but I won't, because I said I wouldn't in any event. The professor there, who's a genuine commie, he's the real deal, he said, okay, I get it, everybody's giving me pressure, I will preach capitalism, and he does. He does it in such a negative way that it's worse. It would be better if he didn't talk about it at all. Wow, to have a socialist teaching capitalism is kind of like having a vegetarian selling steaks at Safeway. It's pretty hard to put a good spin on it, hey. Stop looking. Jumping now. Stop looking. All of you Republicans, stop it. You're looking for criminal behavior from Joe Biden and his family because you want to oust him? Don't do that. Be careful what you wish for, because then you'll get the soon-to-be vice president, that crazy lady from California, and she's a heartbeat away now from being president. Don't speed the process up, for heaven's sake. Stick with the devil, you know. The federal government in Canada, going back and forth, country to country, they've recently launched almost $1 million to be spent. They've launched this campaign. It's a digital-based advertising campaign to warn Canadians about traveling because of COVID. Duh. What does that mean? I mean, it's in the newspaper every day. It's online everywhere you look. People are under home arrest effectively in so many different places. Now they want to spend $1 million. They're targeting snowbirds particularly. These are the people who go across the border to the U.S. and the border's closed. The border has been closed for I think 8 or 9 months. And now these people, these morons, they say we're going to spend another $1 million of your money to tell you what you already know. Group researchers have found this recently. Red wine and the daily consumption of other alcohol is good for you. This is a study, this is data out of the UK Biobank. It's a large database containing genetic and health profiles of more than 500,000 people, and it says, hey, the more you drink, the better you are. I must be in great shape then, because when I was younger, I drank with both hands, and look at me now. Hey, so I can only tell you, people, go out and drink. Lots, and you'll be better, according to that research. Duh. RightEdition.com, our website. We have a good world ranking. We're in about the million range all of the time for all of the websites in the world, and there are more than 2 billion, with a B, websites in the world. We've got some recent stats here, and you know what? We're heavily censored, monitored, our numbers are knocked down, things I say are taken away. I don't know why. I mean, I'm just a wiser advisor guy. But in any event, the radio and the podcast, we have a big audience in the U.S., more than Canada. I'm surprised at that. We have over 60% of our viewers are from the U.S. with regards to our show, and with regards to the podcast, it's virtually 100% of the several million people a month that listen to our podcast who are Americans. So anyway, interesting. And all you Canadians, hey, what's going on? I want you. Listen up. We have news. We got stuff, and the stuff I do talk about is just to, I don't know, it's not to tell you things or teach you things. It's to remind you what you already know. Stalin, remember him? He was the leader of Russia, and he was a bad guy, responsible for tens and tens of millions of deaths, and he was evil. And he said this. He says, I'm going to rip the feathers, which he did, off a live chicken as a lesson to all of my followers. He did that, and wow, the blood and the guts, it was terrible, but the chicken's still alive, but he put it through a terrible ordeal of torture. And then he said to his people, watch this. And then he walked around and he put chicken feed, on the floor and walked. And the chicken followed him. And he said, that, my dear comrades, is how you lead. You can do whatever you want to the people, they will follow you. They will follow you. Give them a worthless treat. And guess where I got the treat? I used the chicken's money to buy the treat. It's almost could be a joke if it wasn't so cool and true. Americans in the United States of America in 2020 bought approximately 22 million guns. New guns, 22 million. That's an increase of 73% over the number purchased in 2019. 22 million. That's a lot of guns. And it's interesting to note that a lot of them are Republicans, them being the gun buyers, because they said this is getting frightening. We have riots. I watch television and it looks like I live in Venezuela, and we gotta be ready to look after ourselves. Here's a lady that says, I've never owned a gun, I never wanted a gun, I've never had a gun in my house. I now have a gun because of what is going on. Would you rather have a cop on the phone or a gun in your hand? Simple to me. I am told that more than 100 years ago, there were 18 tax-exempt private foundations in the United States of America. Today, there are almost 17,000. Wow. This is not a for-profit sector, right? But yet it's the 7th largest economy in the entire world. And these foundations were founded or funded and founded by capitalists, the Howard Hughes Foundation and so many others, right? Many have reached sizes of countries with regard to their finances, and presently many foundations are managed by socialists with an agenda, and often it's an anti-capitalist, un-American agenda, and many foundations actually fund socialist and communist causes. Think about that, huh? I mean, spooky. And look in Canada, same kind of thing is going on. Pension funds. That's an extension pension fund. What do? I mean, you need to have a pension, and you give it to the fund, they get bigger and bigger, and pretty soon they get so big that they own all the buildings, and they don't sell the buildings. I don't know. It's something to think about all of the time. Lastly, I got an email from Aaron O'Toole. He's the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada. It was at Christmas, and I was excited because it didn't ask me for money. It was an email that didn't ask me for money. It was a video to wish us sheeps type a happy holiday greeting. So I hit play on the video because I was impressed. He hadn't asked me for money yet, right, or at all. And he said, Merry Christmas, but of course, halfway through, he said, we need money, give us money, and he should try separating the two from time to time. This was the day before Christmas. Maybe just give your good wishes and don't say, Merry Christmas, give me money. It's like my kids always setting me up. Hey, oh boy, they're maximizing, taking advantage of us. Those people sending us emails, y'all come back, we'll have more for you from the right. See ya.